So Joanne, what makes a great consultant in the employee benefit space?
I want to say someone that listens to the company and really understands their culture and understands them. I know cost savings is a huge thing because everyone's trying to save costs and medical costs is constantly moving up. But again, if you're listening to your clients or listening to companies, you're able to create a custom plan that not only speaks to them, but it also is in line with their beliefs, culture, and all. And at the same time, we can collaboratively work together to create a program that fits for their employees, their budget, and everything else under health and welfare consulting.
What is it that you love about what you do? I can tell you're passionate about it. What is it that you love about it?
Interacting with people. I feel that, with every client that you work with, they have different sectors and different things that they focus on. So you learn a lot about each company and you get to meet different and great people every day. And I think that's the greatest thing. And on top of that, as I probably mentioned earlier, is that you also have the opportunity to see that whatever benefit program that you instill gets trickled down to the employees, and you can see the response when you're helping somebody or seeing that perhaps a program that the company puts in is impacting the employees.
When you do all of that and everything works out really well and you say, gosh, I love working with this client, what is it about that relationship? Is it the individuals? Is it their willingness to take direction and guidance from you? What makes that relationship so good when you get it right?
I think it's a combination, and I think in the end, it's really collaboration. As I mentioned earlier, it's working with the client and finding out what is important to them and figuring out a game plan for them that really works for them and their organization. So if my client is, cost conscious, then we'll work together and see what really works for them to save money. If the client's a little bit more paternalistic in that sense, then we'll work with them to engage their employees in terms of communication. And so I think in all, it's really working together with the client and building a partnership, both personally and professionally.
I love that term, partnership. I hear collaboration. Those all seem to be attributes of what makes something really work well. I'm sure you've seen some mistakes over the years too. What is it about those situations that haven't worked out where you say, gosh, that employer made some mistakes here? Are there anything in that realm that sort of jump out at you as top mistakes employers make when they're thinking about their benefits program or even choosing their benefits consultant?
I think at times, employee benefits, in terms of budget, it becomes like an afterthought. And a lot of times people are so focused on being cost conscious, or maybe implementing programs that are last minute or maybe for cost saving reasons. But whatever program you instill or you implement with your broker and with your clients, it's all about communication and engagement. And so again, a lot of times employers put in programs and the employees don't know about it. So I think the biggest mistake is whatever program you put in place, implement, or have for your employees, communication and engagement is key. Just taking the time to actually understand what you're putting in and also taking the time to really communicate it to the employees, because employees just don't understand it. We live and we breathe it every day. But literally employees, when they go through their benefit elections, it takes them about 5 minutes to make an election and really decide what they want, as opposed to really understanding what's really out there, that what fits them.
That's interesting. And this is not a small line item on the budget either. This is a big spend for most employers. And so the fact that many employees in that companies don't understand potentially what's being offered to them is really interesting. You mentioned communication a lot. How do you get that right? Because that seems like that would be a challenge under normal circumstances, but you have different types of employers, you have the realities of COVID now. How do you get the communication part right?
I think working with consultants that really understand it. At Epic, we bringing a whole team of communication and engagement that really sits down and listens to each client or employer group, what's important to them, and set out a really strategic plan for them, that what makes sense to them. So if it's really understanding, your health savings accounts, then we'll take the time to maybe craft a video or craft communication pieces around that really triggers what resonates with their employee group, or maybe it's COVID or vaccinations. Again, it's all about taking the time to do a thorough, comprehensive communication and engagement strategy to get employees more in touch with their benefits.
What I'm hearing a lot of is this is not a let's go to market, let's get a price, let's get a quote. It is not transactional. It is the furthest thing from that. This is very consultative. It requires a lot of, I would say, attention from both sides, right? And commitment from both sides.
Yes.
You need the engagement of the employer to make things work well.
Yes, it's all about what we talked about, collaboration and a partnership, so mutual understanding of what each party needs and wants, and us or me just being there for my clients and making sure that we're satisfying whatever they're trying to achieve.
I think it's an amazing space that you're in and the work that you do and the way you do it. I'm sure a lot of people seeing this are going to say, gosh, I wish my consultant would operate that way and treat me in that same fashion. So I think we're obviously blessed to have you as part of the team here at Epic. And I think the way you approach this is really so important. Again, this is one of the biggest things that employers are spending on. It's making a statement to their people that they matter and they're giving them access to great healthcare. So the fact that you're doing that in such a consultative way with your clients, I think is amazing.
Thank you.